So welcome to Gears and Tech. You'll probably not remember me from the videos that nobody really watches on this channel, but I'm Ben, and I occasionally dabble in driving cars that probably shouldn't do what we make them do. Today we're going to do a review on the Mitsubishi Lancer 2008. So this here has a 2-liter 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated, pumping out 152 horsepower, and has a quite low 7.7 0 to 60 time. But for a 4-door sedan that totes the family around and gets good fuel economy, you're really not looking at 0 to 60 times anyway. So this car is Mitsubishi's answer back to Chevy and all your major brands at a sporty, reliable, dependable, good-looking sedan. This has a pretty aggressive styling for just a 4-door car. It comes usually stock with a few more options than what your basic box brands would have. And as you can see, we got a spoiler, aftermarket rims, a bit more aggressive look on the front with those headlights that, kind of give it more of a rally look. So the thing you'll find with this car and what Mitsubishi's done is they've taken a basic car and they've taken the basic necessities of 4-door, seats 5 comfortably, respectable power with a small engine, and they've taken it a little bit further than what they normally have. So with this, you have more of that modeled after the Evo look that would typically not translate down from other bigger brands. So this in particular one is a bit of an exception to what you'd find on the road, most people would be driving. I find that this one, we got it cheap, so it has gone through some life lessons that some kids learned along the way, and it's suffered most of the heat from that. But that aside, let's go over the inside features and kind of what we think about driving it down the road. So as you can see here, we have power windows, power door locks, and power mirrors, all, become naturally a standard issue in most cars nowadays. This has fairly standard features as far as what they offer. The only thing that I really have extra in this model that wouldn't always come is I have heated seats, and obviously in Canada that's a necessary addition. As you can see, there are features that this car doesn't have, but it does come with a few added extras. I do believe you can also get heated steering wheel with this as well. But this one's fairly standard. Your CD player, MP3, Bluetooth for your phone. It's a fairly basic addition of it, but it does get the job done. No climate control, really. It's all fairly manual, but that comes standard in a cheap car. So like most brands, there is a very basic base model. This one kind of falls in between your low end and your all added features model. As you can see here, I've got the buttons on the steering wheel to control cruise control, my Bluetooth settings, and my radio settings. If you opted for the high-end model, you would come with a few extra settings, leather interior, you'd have dual climate control, and a few extras that don't come in this model. That's all the features. Aside from what we see here, the only thing we can find out now is how it drives and how it feels. So let's head on the road. So as you notice, this one's a manual. My preference, to be honest with you, but as a sedan, probably not the preference of everybody else. Gets great fuel economy. As far as drivability, the car handles really smooth, and surprisingly, we've taken some high-speed corners on this test through the mountains and such, and it still has a very tight suspension. So for a smooth ride and still having that quality of handling, I think they've hit the nail on the head as far as balancing the two, coming from the Evo bloodline, but making it a little more comfortable for the everyday person to drive. So as far as fuel economy goes, this thing gets about 7 liters per 100, which as far as 4-door sedans go, we're running about as good as any of them out there. On this test, I have driven it a bit harder than the average person would be driving on a day-to-day basis, and it really hasn't fluctuated much on the economy end of things, and has not really lacked me a whole lot of performance. Again, it is only 150 horsepower, so you're not gonna have a lot to pull from anyway. But even when I'm using all of it, it still seems to be delivering decent fuel economy overall. So as far as like comfortable space too, I'm 6'1", 230. It does not feel cramped at all. Passengers got plenty of space. Even the back seats have got quite a bit of room as far as leg room and head room and everything that comes with, a back seat situation. So I find that having it be a manual, it adds to the driving experience as far as, you know, being able to shift through the gears, kind of jam it and have a bit more control than an automatic would give you. But even in an automatic version, I really do think that it has a great feel as far as keeping it sporty. It handles well, it accelerates about as respectfully as you can. It looks good. I think it's probably one of the best looking sedans in its era, and has that appeal, obviously sharing the same body style as the Evo 10. Now, touching on that a little bit as well, there's a huge difference between the Evo 10 as far as, you know, what it has for performance parts. You know, it's got a different engine, it's turbocharged, has sport-tuned suspension, has all the things that a car of that caliber should have. But being able to share that platform with this basic sedan for everyday driving really gave Mitsubishi a one-up on their competition, I feel. And I feel a lot of automakers that do end up sharing development from one class to another really do gain a lot of extra features and performance output ability. So from a kid's perspective, or just a young person's perspective, or anyone who really just wants to up their car a little bit, having this as a base model, I think really gives an advantage. Being able to slap a turbo on it, or, you know, add some aftermarket suspension that might stiffen it up just a little bit more, giving you that ability to feel like you're in an Evo without spending that Evo dollar. So you might be wondering why we're reviewing such an old car. It has such blemishes and attributes not attributing a brand new version of this. And that's because we're actually taking this on a trip. Now on this trip, I think if you've seen any of our videos before, we go heads up against whoever participates in this kind of trip challenge. And this is part of it. So this is my review, my honest opinion about this car and why I chose it for this trip, and why I think it fits the category in which we were given. And I think it will win and excel in, you know, if not all stages, at least enough to take home the victory. So definitely give your opinion, vote in the comments below, help me out, because I mean, you don't want to listen to Anton gloat.
Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video. We'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.